Hi everyone, I'm here today with Meg, and this is our very first coaching session. We had briefly a conversation a week ago where we were a little bit discovering what she wants to work on, and today is our very first coaching session. And I hope everyone who is watching gets a lot out of this video. And now, Meg, this time is all for you. Thank you for being here with me today.
Of course. Pleasure.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great today. I'm excited about what's coming up. Like I told you, I am traveling next week. So I'm
Amazing.
excited about that. And overall, I feel a good like 8 on 10, I would say that.
And where are the missing two?
Missing two, I think one is, of course, with the excitement comes nervousness. I'm nervously excited. I also tell myself that I want to make the most of it and I don't want to like hold back. So knowing that I might have some opportunities of whether it's public speaking or whether it's being on front of the camera, or I just feel like I want to I just have a little bit of fear around that. So that's one. And the other one is, of course, just leaving my babies and going for like 10 days. So I'm just like a little like, I'm worried about that as well. So those are my 2 points.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can totally relate to that. Being
Yeah.
a mom myself, it's always hard, but what I've experienced, my son already now is 11 years old, and it was very hard even to leave him for a couple of days when he was smaller. But every time when I came back, I found it was not only good for myself, but also for himself and for our relationship together. What we talked about last time also a little bit is like your goal is that you want to, if you don't mind me repeating this here, you really want to be comfortable with being seen,
Yeah.
with being in the center of attention, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
is this still the goal you want to work on?
200%. 200%. I think that all my success lies on the other side of this fear or issue. I genuinely feel that once I'm able to take care of that, there's nothing that's stopping me from becoming who I want to become or achieving what I want to achieve.
Yeah. And what would be the best outcome for you, which you could get out of this conversation today?
I think just, basically tackle this fear of being seen. What is it that's holding me back? What is it, all the noises in my head stopping me, telling me, oh, this will happen, that will happen, or whatever that is. And so basically the anxieties around visibility, and then maybe some actionable steps that I have so I can take, baby steps towards doing it for myself.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this with me. We can definitely work on that. And I know also that you will get an RTT session where we will dive deep into this topic. And yes,
They haven't
yes,
committed to it, but I'm hoping for that. Yes.
yes. But anyway, you will have an RTT session. Could be with Marissa Peer herself, or with someone else, or myself, or whoever this will be. But that's where we can really dive deep. But with your permission, what I would like to do today is just like looking a little bit behind what's there.
Yeah.
Why do you want to do this? And we tapped into that a little bit in our last conversation also. Remember, we were talking about why do you want to go out there? Why do you want to be in the center of attention? Why do you want to become an amazing RTT therapist for celebrities? Go ahead.
I think my whys, there are multiple layers to it. One of it is very One of it is personal. I want to make sure that when I look in the mirror, I'm like, yeah, you achieved something that was considered unattainable, by your family or just your surroundings, right? Just how you grew up, right? So it's a barrier I want to break, and I want to be like, there's no barriers, right? That's one reason for myself. I want to feel fulfilled. I'm like, you know what? You set out a dream, and definitely it wasn't planned. It's not like, oh, when I started RTT I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. No, it just organically came to me, and I felt called to pursue this as my niche, because I feel like when you look at people with high visibility, the general population, we look at them and we be like, oh, they have it all. Of course, what are they crying about? Oh, what is the big deal? Like, oh, they're so ungrateful. They have some. No, they're human beings too. And with visibility and fame comes a lot of other issues, anxiety, like hypervigilance. You're always, every step of yours is analyzed. That life is not easy. And the other reason is definitely as a mom to set an example for my twins. I want them to be like, you know what? My mom set this goal for herself, which was like really crazy, because I will tell them my story and my journey, and she achieved it. And I want it to be as simple as that in their heads. You set a goal, you have a plan of action, you strategize around it, you have a mindset that is like a go getter mindset. You tackle all your fears and you go do it. That's how I want it to be for them as well. So these are a couple of the whys that I have.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you for sharing this with me. And what I hear you say is that on one hand, you want to help these people, these celebrities, these famous people, because they're, after all, humans like you and I, and have the same struggles and issues. And like we are all with our subconscious programs. And you want to go to them and help them to break free from these limitations. And then on the other hand, they are your boys, where you want to show them, well, do and go after your dream. Whatever you want to do, you can do it when you have a plan. And look at me, I did it, so can you, right?
Yes, and I also want to show that to myself, because I also want to believe that, like I believe that, but this will be like 100% conviction on it, because I have set goals for myself and I've always achieved it. Maybe the timing is a little different, like maybe instead of this year, maybe next year, something like that. But I have not set an unreasonable, unrealistic goal yet. And I don't think this is unrealistic. I only feel it's unrealistic because of the fear I have. The minute this fear is gone, I don't think that this goal is unrealistic at all. I feel like, yeah, I can do it. What's the big deal? It's easy.
Yeah, and that's a very interesting point you put in. If the fear was gone, then you would know you could achieve it. And if the fear was gone, what would be there instead?
Confidence.
Confidence.
Power in just knowing that you're good, and you put yourself out there and that you're helping people. It's not like you're doing it only for yourself. There's definitely something to gain from whatever wisdom I would share, or whatever how I want to help people, right? So confidence for sure.
And
Yeah.
last time when we spoke, you came up with a beautiful metaphor. You said something, if you don't mind me repeating out here, that you want to give them the wings that you never had, because you were restricted by many different external situations and people who were influencing you, and your wings were a little bit cut. But you want to give them their wings to fly wherever they want to. And you came up with this beautiful metaphor, and then you said you will put a reminder somewhere where you see something that reminds you on these wings, so that you have this why, this really deep reason, this fuel, which can be stronger than your fears. So I'm curious, just did you put a reminder somewhere? Did you put somewhere something?
I did. I did on my mirror. I put it on my mirror,
Amazing.
and I also put it in my kitchen. Basically, the two high traffic areas for me, like around my closet and there. And it is definitely my why that touches the soul. It's like, yes, I definitely feel like I remember saying this to you last time too, that I am stitching my own wings right now. Like I'm putting, those extra feathers that were clipped into myself so I can fly and do that. But for them, I want them to have it I want it to be very natural. I don't want it to be like effort. I want, like, yes, this is life. This is how it is. It is simple. It is simple. You have wings, you fly. You don't have to worry about your wings being clipped or having to stitch it back and having to, like, have all these limiting beliefs put on you, right? So I did put a sticky note for myself in these two areas that, when I read it, it makes me smile. Like I haven't started my process yet of like doing it, but it makes me smile. It gives me the motivation that I need in the morning when I brush my teeth. I read it. I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's how I want my day to shape out, like working towards that.
Amazing. And that's so smart that you put it in these two areas where you are just starting your day and where you spend a lot of time, where you will always pass. So that's amazing. And I'm so happy to hear that this already helped a little bit. But today, we want to make it a little bit deeper. We want to go a little bit deeper. We want to give you a little bit more fuel and so that you can go with this confidence, this internal power towards these opportunities that will wait for you next week in Dubai, right?
Mhm.
And what I have the feeling, and correct me if that's wrong, that you feel you are here, there, and there is this goal in the future where you will be confident, where you will have this power, where you will be just in the middle of attention and you will be super okay with that. You will love it. But there's a little gap in
Yeah,
between you now and theirs, correct? Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
You nailed it. Yeah.
So what I want to do now, today, is to build a bridge
Mm-hmm.
over this gap so that it feels closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do we do that? Well, first of all, you are an RTT therapist. You are about to graduate from the RTT experience, and you already know a lot about how our mind works, how our programs, our subconscious programs work. And you know already that as a child, we all have created certain programs in order to survive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have created certain programs in order to receive the love which makes us survive. And some of the programs, some kids choose to become the achiever, they become the very best. And some kids choose to be the rebel, or some kids choose to people please, or whatever it is. But it's so important to understand that we created these programs, meaning we created this personality, who we are now, in order to survive our childhood. But my question, if we could create this personality, who we are now, why can we not create the personality we will be from tomorrow on?
We can.
We can,
Yeah.
exactly. And then let's go and build your dream future personality, if you like.
Yes, yes. I'm
Okay,
excited about that, and then merge into that. And that'll be so cool.
exactly. You're reading my mind.
Yeah.
This is all what we do. We'll then merge, of course. So now, if you think about your ideal future self, this is the one who is super confident already, who is already doing what you dream of doing, who's already behaving like that. How would she, what kind of person is she?
The first thing that comes to my mind is she takes great care of herself. Okay. Like she's very disciplined in how she takes care of herself. Okay, which means
Okay.
like she spends time working out, eating well, taking care of her health. That's the first thing that comes up. I think that's also a gap. So maybe that's why it just came to me. The second
Mm-hmm.
thing is she doesn't get affected by the noise. You know what I mean? It's
Which noise?
like if she's like if she's so she is a public figure in my head. She is a public figure. She's out there. She has written a book. She is, got a huge social media following based on the information she shares. She is a very popular RTT therapist, but the noise is the naysayers, the people who are like, commenting like, oh, this doesn't work, or like, this is bullshit, or whatever that is, right? There's always going to be some people who are going to say that. And she doesn't care about that. She doesn't give a damn, because she's like, if there is, say, 200 comments saying thanks for this, and there's 10 comments saying something negative, who cares about that? Like, let that go. At least 200 people are happy and thanking you for sharing that wisdom with them. So she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't she doesn't get affected, impacted by the negative noise. The third thing is she's really good at what she does. Like, she's really, really good at what she does. So she has worked every single day in bettering herself as a therapist. She's not complacent about it. She's not like, oh, I'm an RT therapist. But every day she's like reading, seeking knowledge, like making sure that she's becoming better and better at it. That's how I view her. And I also see that she already has celebrity clients in Bollywood.
Mm-hmm. I will guide you through a future visualization now. And you know already from RTT that we go often in the past in order to take out all this limiting stuff. But what we do now, we look into the future. We want to close this gap between you now and you then with a visualization, with practicing being there already, because also your mind will avoid everything that's unfamiliar, but with a visualization you will make it familiar. And the more you then alone repeat this, just a little visit for a couple of minutes there, the more you will practice being there already. And the mind learns by repetition. So the more often you practice this, the more your mind will get used to that and make it happen.
Yeah, I do a little bit of visualization every day as well, but then sometimes I just get like, oh, that's really crazy, that kind of stuff. So let's do this, I'm excited.
Okay, perfect. You are all in. I love that. Now
Yep.
make yourself comfortable.
Yep.
You don't have to change anything. You've already closed your eyes. That's amazing. And let's start by taking a deep breath in and exhale. You're doing it perfectly. Inhale one more time deeply and exhale, relax. And one last deep inhalation. And as you exhale, you feel your body more and more relaxing, going into this internal state. You just continue with a natural, normal breath. And you breathe so deeply. It feels so good. And with every breath, you dive deeper into an internal state, into a relaxation, where every nerve, every muscle gets loose, where you let go, where you just listen to my voice and become more and more relaxed. And now you hear my voice, and the more you listen, the even more you go into this relaxation. And you are here with me in February 2024 doing this visualization. And I want you now, Meg, to visualize that there is a timeline coming up right in front of you. You can step out of your body where you are right now and go on this timeline, and you fly this timeline ahead from the 13th of February in 24. You go towards your future, and you go and you pass March, April. You go further and further this entire year. You come over the summer, then there comes fall, winter. And then there is February 2025. And you look down from the timeline, and there you see your ideal future. And you land on this place that you see there. You land on the 13th of February in 2025. And there you are. And you take your time and look around and see everything which is around you. And tell me, Meg, what do you see there?
I'm in India.
You're in India?
And I have my first session scheduled with someone from Bollywood.
Mm-hmm. So,
And I'm very excited about it. I feel very ready for it. I'm dressed up.
Mm-hmm. And where is it where you are exactly? Is it an
Bombay.
office?
I'm in Bombay, and I am on my way. So I'm in a car going to this director's house.
You're in the car, you're going to the director's house. And what's going on then?
We're going to have our first RTT session on anxiety.
Mm-hmm. So you have your first RTT session on anxiety with this Bollywood personality, celebrity, and you're on the way there, then you arrive. And where do you go then? How does it look like?
Go to their house. We're going to their lounge area. He's greeting me, and we've already spoken a few times before on Zoom or on the phone. And I feel very relaxed. I feel very comfortable. I speak slowly. I am very confident. That makes him feel very relaxed as well. I'm very confident in my skills. We just talk for a little bit time, have coffee, and then we start a session. We're starting a session.
And how do you feel as this future self?
I feel great. I feel like this was meant to be. I don't feel anxious or fear. I feel like, yeah, this is normal. This is what I was born to do. This is my calling. This is my, dharma. And it's just natural. It feels natural.
It feels natural, beautiful.
Very natural. It feels like, yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a beautiful job. You're already seeing and feeling through the eyes of your future self, and you're feeling and seeing, working with this celebrity, and you're doing an RTT session. And then I want you to describe after this RTT session, what happens? What does he say to you?
He's crying. He's crying, and he's like, oh my God, like I didn't know I would feel like this. And of course, he's still like processing his session, but he just feels an immediate shift already, and very positive about the shift that will happen after listening to the recording and all of that. So he feels very confident that that's how he's going to feel. And I feel good too. And he's like, I can't wait to refer you to my friends and my family and everybody else in here. He's asking me, How am I going to take on more sessions because I live in Canada? And then I tell them we can just do it in London. So middle point for both of us. And he's like, yes, that's perfect.
Mm,
And
amazing. Yeah. And
yeah.
what I want you to do now is just leave this scene
Hmm.
and go back on this timeline. And
Hmm.
now, from the 13th of February 25, you travel ahead 1 month until the 13th of March in 25. And there you land like you did it before. You are the present Meg, and you are just looking in a scene where you see your future self. So you observe her
Yeah.
from a distance, and you see her talking to this man who she had the first RTT session with. And I
Yeah.
don't know if they're talking over the phone or if on the computer or if they're in person. You tell me, but describe me. What do you see there? What's happening?
We're talking on the phone. So it's like a FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
And he's telling me how impactful and effective it was. And he's saying that he wants to do more sessions on other things. And he was telling me that, oh, he has something major coming up and he feels so relaxed. His panic attacks have stopped. And we're discussing about how we can, like do some mini sessions for the kids so that they can combat bullying and all the negative stuff that is thrown their way just because their parents are famous, in a more positive way. So that's what we're discussing.
And how does that feel? Talking about that, about first of all, receiving that feedback. Did he got rid of his panic attacks and anxiety, and then opening even more doors for more opportunities? How to further work with his kids, even and other people. How do you feel?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing. But like I said, like the only word that comes to me is natural. It just feels like, yeah, yeah, this was how it's supposed to be. This is how it's going to be. This is how it's meant to be, you
I
know?
love it. Yeah,
It feels like
beautiful.
very natural. It feels very fulfilling. It feels like, but it also feels like, yeah, this is how you planned it to be. This is what you wanted. So that's what's happening. And it just feels
Mhm.
natural. Like there's a reason I wanted to help this particular person. And I also know, yeah, it just feels natural, Monica. Like the more I think of it, it just feels like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be. It feels natural, it feels fulfilling. And when you focus now on this feeling, where in your body can you feel it?
Heart, chest,
In the heart, in the heart
chest.
and in the chest. And how
Yeah.
does it feel physically? Describe me the physical sensations you have.
Like it's funny. Like when you see your crush for the first time, like
Mm-hmm.
it's like a little bit of like excitement. Your heart is beating fast. It's just, but it feels like that right now. Like I feel like the flutters.
Mm. Flutters and excitement
Yeah.
and amazing. And this feeling comes from the heart. And
Yeah,
this
heart and
this is
chest
the
area.
feel
I can feel it
heart
here.
and heart and chest area. And so it's an exciting feeling, a flattering feeling, like falling in love or like seeing your crush the
Yes.
first time and like this butterflies and everything. And this is the feeling of fulfillment, of
Yeah,
doing
but
what you're meant to do.
the feeling when you feel all that, but you know that this person is totally into you, so you have that confidence as well. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yes, it's for sure. And this, yeah, you feel secure. You feel
I don't feel
already,
nervous. No,
yeah,
I'm excited.
amazing.
And I feel like, yeah, I know, like there's no doubt over there that, oh, so that's the kind of feeling.
So like, instead of doubt, what is there?
I was going to say confidence, but the word that came out from inside was peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
There's a peaceful feeling.
Yeah.
Which is related to confidence, which is related to security, but that's the most important, what comes up from inside. It's peaceful feeling.
Yeah.
And now describe me this feeling again, to this feeling of peace.
I just feel peaceful because, I know I'm making an impact. I know I'm helping. I feel like everyone, every human being, every soul comes with a purpose in the world. And I feel like now finally my actions and my purpose are aligned. And I feel peaceful because if I can achieve this goal, everything and anything is possible.
Amazing. I love that.
To worry about. Like there's nothing to worry about in this world, because if you can achieve this, which is like a really crazy girl for somebody sitting in Canada who's just like, a normal girl, but you can make it that big, then there's nothing that is not possible for any human being.
And she has achieved it, and you feel this feeling. You feel it. Yes, amazing. And I want you to stay in this feeling right now, Meg. Like really focus on this feeling in your heart, this feeling of excitement in your heart and chest, this flattery feeling like you would see your crush for the first time, but you know that he is into you also. It's this feeling, like this feeling of reassurance, this peaceful feeling that you know your actions and your purpose are now aligned. You've made it. You made it from this average girl in Canada, now working with celebrities. You made it. You're there. And if you can achieve that, you can achieve anything. And I want you now to stay in this feeling, feel this feeling. And you, just by focusing on it, can make it stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's what you're doing right now. You just make this feeling stronger and stronger, Meg. Make it even stronger and even stronger and even stronger. And you can even see a scale, and it already raised up from 0 to 500 and now to 1,000. And it's getting even stronger and stronger and stronger. It goes to 10,000, 100,000, and stronger and stronger and stronger. And before we reach the top, I want you now to put 2 fingers together, any fingers, because we will anchor this feeling in your body. You put these 2 fingers together, beautiful. And now you make this feeling even stronger and stronger and stronger. It goes up and up and up. You can feel it more and more and more and more. And it's so beautiful and so strong and even stronger. And you anchor this feeling right now in these 2 fingers. And there it is, forever now. From this moment on, every time when you put these fingers together, your body and your subconscious will recall this feeling. And it will be there immediately. Immediately, and you can always make it stronger and stronger. And there it is. And you can release these fingers because you know you have now anchored this feeling within you. And it will always be there within you. And stay there in this feeling as long as you want. And whenever you're ready, you still have your eyes closed. You focus again on the scene. There you are in March 2025. And you see your future self in front of you. And she sees you now. And you walk towards her. And she knows who you are, and you know who she is. And she's already finished with this conversation. She's alone now. And you start talking to her. And you can ask her any question that you want. Because she's there where you want to be. And she knows already everything. What do you want to ask her?
I just asked her, how did you do this? And the first word she said was discipline.
Discipline. Interesting.
And then she said, or she's saying, connections, networking.
Mm-hmm.
And mindset.
Mm-hmm. Mindset, discipline, connections, networking. Do you want to ask her something else? Anything else?
I asked her, how did you get over the fear of being seen? And she said, with whatever you're doing now and taking small steps.
With whatever you're doing right now already and taking small steps. Is there anything else you want to ask her? Or she's maybe saying, advising?
No, she just said prioritize. I don't know.
Prioritize. Okay. Yeah. It's okay. I see that there are emotions coming up, and that's good. You want to share these emotions that are coming up? You don't have to.
Happiness, just to see that version of me and feel like the dreams are fulfilled. So it's more so the happiness associated with doing the visualization of myself in the future.
Yeah, the happiness. So
Wow. Yeah, it's like, damn, like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so awesome. So
yes,
that's the feeling.
that's the feeling. So these are tears of happiness.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, yeah. And that's amazing because tears of happiness, they always carry also a bit of a relief, right? It's just like, oh, wow, yes, I can make it, right?
Yeah. And it's also associated with, I think, um, a little bit of pride in the sense that, oh, no one would have thought you could do it, but you did it. So I think it's coming from there.
Amazing, amazing, yeah. And I want you now to look around one more time in this future scene in March 25. And you say goodbye to your future self. But you can always visit her whenever you want, and she will have the best advice for you because she is the very best coach you can ever have. And you say goodbye, and you step on the timeline. Before you look around one more time and you just breathe in this future into yourself and this feeling. Knowing that you have anchored this beautiful feeling within yourself. You can step now on the timeline and you fly back from March 25, going back a whole year to March 24, and then even to February 24, until you land on the 13th of February in 2024, where you hear my voice, where you sit there early morning in Canada. And there you landed, but not like you were before. You took a lot with you. An amazing piece of advice, an amazing feeling from your future. And before you open your eyes, I want you to bring these fingers together again, like you did before. Just to recall this feeling one more time. It's this feeling of excitement, this feeling like you would see your crush for the first time, but he wants you to. It's just this feeling you did it. All this feeling, it's here, it's within you forever. You anchored it in your body, and you can always recall it. That's a little treasure you took from the future with with you. Can you feel the feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And you took a piece of wisdom and knowledge from your future self with you too. Now, whenever you're ready, you can come back and open your eyes.
That was so good.
Welcome back. How do you feel?
I feel great. I feel really good. And it's very different from like the visualizations I do every day, because it's so specific, and the questions and all of that, it's so like focused. I really enjoyed that a lot. It allowed me to really tap into a day in the life of Meg in 2025, right? Versus like a broader visualization, oh, this and this and this and this, right? So I think it was great. And it's so amazing and beautiful. Like you can actually feel all those emotions in your body, like right there, as if it's happening or happened right now. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I think I will do this more often.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you liked it. And you said something really important. Like you did the visualization right now with me, but you felt this feeling now as if it would have already been. And that's what happens with visualizations. You change your feelings because you change the pictures in your mind.
Yeah.
And when you change your feelings, you change your chemistry in your body and in your brain, you change your frequency. And we all know the law of attraction reacts on the frequency. Meaning,
Yeah.
when you are in this frequency, it will come to you and you will go towards it.
Yeah.
So that's something super important that you discovered for yourself right now. And my last question is, what is your biggest takeaway you could take out from today's visualization or from today's call?
You know, I think for me, the biggest takeaway, Monica, was that word natural. Like, I never thought that that's what I would feel when I was doing the visualization, or that's the word that would come. I thought I would say more like, oh, I'm excited. I feel like this and I feel like that. And I feel like, oh my God. But the beauty of it is that it just felt natural. It felt as natural as me talking to you right now, like I'm just myself, I'm talking to you. And then in March, it's going to be the celebrity and I'm going to have a conversation. It just felt natural. And I think that was because the fear was not there. Because if the fear was there, it would not feel natural.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now my question is, because I know next week you will have opportunities to be on stage, to be in the center. What can you do in order to feel that natural right now when you have these events coming up? Amazing.
Yeah, that was, I think, amazing for me to feel that and be like, there's nothing to worry about. Just like going to grocery, you're just going to have a session with this person. It is that natural for you and your soul to do this. So
Beautiful.
yeah, that was beautiful for me.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I'm so happy that this helped you, and you did an amazing job, and I can't wait. Would you tell me how everything went in Dubai when we see each other afterwards? And I'm also here for you whenever you need anything in between.
I will text you for sure. I know I will text you when I'm there. But I'm also excited to connect with you once I'm back to discuss whatever comes out of Dubai.
Yes, and I'm happy to be there. Can't wait. And thank you for being with me here today.
Of course, Monica. Thank you so much. It was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful.